Happy Thursday, May 14th. Welcome into another episode of Daily Dingers, brought to you by Better and Green. 2-1 Wednesday, guys. Quick recap. One with the Miami Marlins on the money line, minus 125. That was an official play for me, my only play yesterday across all sports. So nice 1-0, easy cash there. Lost with Arizona money line. Very, very tough one. They trail all throughout the game. Well, tied trail throughout the game. Come back, take a 2-run lead in the top of the ninth, give up three, get walked off in the bottom of the ninth. So tough one there for Arizona. I was right on the fence, Arizona or Miami, so very thankful I ended up playing Miami instead of Arizona because that was a very tough beat. And then Athletics -1 gets there relatively no sweat either. So 2-1 plus 0.95 units, just shy of one full unit there. Looking to get back at it today, guys. That being said, probably my least favorite card that we've talked about this year. A little bit shortened, 11-game slate, a lot of day games. I try not to give out too many day plays, but I would have today if I liked them. I just really don't have much that I like today, so almost certainly going to be passing on today's card. And, I would recommend that. We'll take just a minute to talk about that. Don't force plays. If you don't see anything you like, don't feel like you have to play every single day. Passing is really the biggest advantage that we have against the books. Every single day, the books have to put out lines for every single game, every prop, every first half, every quarter, inning in baseball. They have to put out lines. We get to choose what we bet and what we don't. And on a day like today where, I know there's going to be games tomorrow that I like, maybe I'll end up having two plays tomorrow where typically I only try to choose one. Because there are going to be better spots tomorrow to jump in. So it's okay to pass, and I will most likely, almost certainly, be doing that today. But, guys, let's get into play number one here. We are going to look at a day game, not one of the earliest ones, but 1:10 Eastern between my Detroit Tigers and the New York Mets. Mets -160 home favorite, plus 140 coming back on Detroit here. Detroit is in a complete free fall right now. Really, since Tarek Skubal got scratched and then ended up having that elbow surgery, the team has just been completely flat. Now they're trying not to get swept here in New York. They've had a terrible road trip. I think they've lost now 7 of their last 8 here, and really, kind of got lucky to win that one game that they've won here in the last 8. So it's been a really bad stretch. Looking to wrap up this road trip, they sit at 1-4, trying to at least salvage something with a 2-4. I don't know how we got here, where it's mid-May, and the pitcher that I trust the most for Detroit is Kiter Montero, but that's where we're at. He is on the mound for the Tigers today, 2-2 on the season, 3.18 ERA, .96 WHIP, 29 strikeouts to 8 walks. Nolan McLean on the mound for the Mets, 2.78 ERA, .9 WHIP, 57 strikeouts to 12 walks. We're going to do something a little bit different in this one. We're going to look at the first 5 innings, Tigers plus a half run. The Tigers have been scoring early, and then they go completely flaccid the rest of the way. They go up 2-0 top of the first yesterday. That's all the runs they get, and they never even threatened after that. It was a lifeless offensive effort here for the Tigers, but I trust Montero on the mound. I don't want to worry about Detroit's bullpen because it's completely decimated, and really, as soon as the bullpen comes in, you're going to need a big lead. And right now, with the bats that the Tigers are putting out there, it's rough times in Detroit right now. But that being said, I think they can, at least stay tied through the first 5 innings of this game. I like McLean on the mound for the Mets, but like I said, I also like Kiter Montero going for the Tigers. And the Tigers, when they score, it has been early. I think they can put up a couple runs early here, lead or be tied at the end of the first 5. That is the way I'm looking. The total in this game is 7, so getting the half run, first 5 innings, feels like a nice play there. It's -110, by the way. First 5, Detroit Tigers plus a half run. If they're winning or tied after 5 innings, you cash that ticket. That is the way I'm looking for that first game. Next game up, we'll go to a night game here, 7:15 Eastern between the Chicago Cubs and the Atlanta Braves. Cubs looking to avoid the sweep here in Atlanta. They have now lost 4 in a row, and they are continuing this road trip, heading back to Chicago tomorrow, but they will be on the road playing the White Sox. Meanwhile, you have the Braves playing really good baseball right now. They've won 4 in a row, took the last 2 against the Dodgers. Now the first 2 at home against the Cubs. They get to stay home and host the Red Sox tomorrow. I just don't think a team like the Cubs gets held down very long here. And that's the way I'm going to look. Cubs plus 145 is the way I'm looking. On the mound for Chicago, we do have Ben Brown going. And for Atlanta, we have Chris Sale. Now, Chris Sale, good pitcher still, but kind of a big name that I think gets a little bit overpriced. Now, he does have good numbers. He's 6-2 with a 2.20 ERA, .88 whip, 56 strikeouts to 12 walks. Good pitcher, don't get me wrong, but I just sometimes think, he's in the Max Fried conversation, the Tarek Skubal conversation, where I just think he's a name that gets a little bit overhyped. Chicago is just too good of a team here to, in my opinion, be giving plus 145. A team looking to avoid being swept here. Now, the Braves, the Cubs, both top 5 teams in Major League Baseball, in my opinion. But I'm just taking a shot with the Cubs here. Again, not something that I think I'll end up playing. I don't like playing on a team on a losing streak against a team on a winning streak. Cubs have lost 4. Braves have won 4. So, that is probably going to keep me off the Cubs today, but that would probably be my strongest lean. I just think the Cubs, I like Ben Brown too. 1.82 ERA, .91 whip, 27 strikeouts, 9 walks. I think this could be a competitive matchup once again. I like the big plus money on the Cubs here to avoid being swept in Atlanta. Give me Chicago, plus 145 for play number 2. And your final game, going to the nightcap, the 10:10 Eastern start time between the San Francisco Giants and the LA Dodgers. Dodgers laying minus 175 as your home favorite, plus 145 coming back on San Francisco. Total of 8 in this game. And again, we're going to look a different way here. We are going to go first 5 under 4.5 runs, minus 115 for this game. On the mound, you have Landon Roop going for San Francisco and Emmett Sheehan on the mound for the Dodgers. 2 pitchers that I really like. Their numbers not going to blow you away. Roop with a 3.09 ERA, 1.10 whip, 51 strikeouts to 19 walks, 4.79 ERA for Sheehan, 1.35 whip, 43 strikeouts to 10 walks. Both guys, very good strikeout pitchers here. I expect a low-scoring game when the starters are on the mound. No Shohei Ohtani in the lineup here for the Dodgers, so that takes out a little bit of their power, although he has struggled batting this season. But really, these teams just not putting up a ton of runs. The Dodgers have only put up more than 4 runs twice this month, and they were both against the Astros. In my opinion, a bottom feeder team. The Giants haven't been putting up a ton of runs either. They've had multiple games this month where they've put up 0 or 1 run. Just quick looking, 5 games so far this month where they've put up 1 or less. I just like these 2 pitchers. I think it's going to be a pitcher's duel here in LA, at least while the starters are in. Obviously, like I said, Shohei out of the lineup, which, Dodgers have a lot of hitting depth, but it does help in under here. And I think 4.5. I was kind of shocked to get that number. I thought we'd have a flat 4, but 4.5 minus 115. I really like that play. So, guys, that will wrap it for today's episode of Daily Dingers. Quick recap: Tigers first 5 innings plus a half run, minus 110 for play number 1. Cubs money line plus 140 as play number 2, and Dodgers Giants first 5 under 4.5 runs, minus 115. Thanks for watching, guys. Consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't done so already. Hit that like button. Drop me a comment down below. We'll see you tomorrow for another episode of Daily Dingers, brought to you by Better and Green.